deep. It's really deep. Oh, there's a crocodile in the water.
Where?
You guys see that?
The Oombulgurri Track, Australia's most testing four-wheel drive track, bar none.
That's so stuck. It's not going to work.
We've been told it can't be done. Rivers are too high, mud flats impassable.
The grass is higher than Sooty. As you get off the track just a little bit, you just completely lost it. They said this track was going to be tough at this time of year, and they certainly weren't wrong.
Come on!
We're going to make a little fix to get us a couple of Ks up the road, but we've got about 400 of those to do.
Yep,
I actually don't know how we're going to get out of this one. Our journey begins in the sleepy and iconic little WA town of Wyndham at the local footy oval. We're here to catch up with our good mate Ronnie Morgan and, of course, the Wyndham locals.
The country we are tackling this trip through is accessed by special permission only. And Ronnie, who's one of the traditional owners in the area, has invited us to try and open one of Australia's wildest four-wheel drive tracks and be first for the season. Have a go at this. I'm grinning like a chimp. The entire town has come down to say good day. They've got a bit of footy training going on over here. Every single local we've spoken to has said, you are way too early. Super wet out there. Rivers are high. The mud flats, well, they are flat and they are muddy as heck. But they all are frothing at the fact that we're going to give it a crack. So will we make it? Heck, I wouldn't have a bloody clue, but I do know this for a fact. This is how I like to start a trip. Small town, all the locals have come down to say good day. We're in the Kimberley. Hang that up on the shed wall, mate. Lovely to meet you.
Now, you can't come to WA without kicking a footy, and the Wyndham football team have invited us to join them at training tonight. It's the perfect way to kick off our trip. But for some of us, they should probably stick to four-wheel driving.
Hey!
Put him down!
That's sick.
Next morning, we're pointing the rigs towards the Pentecost River, the gateway to the Kimberley, and more importantly for us, the start of the mighty Oombulgurri Track. The Kimberley is the kind of place where you need some good mates with you, and that's exactly what we've got. Sean's behind the wheel of old Sooty, while I'm running in the D-Max playing support vehicle. Our good mate Liam has bought the trusty 200 for the trip, while Az is wheeling that iconic MITS 79, a vehicle that's already seen some time in the Kimberley. Ronnie knows this place like the back of his hand, but even he's worried we might not be able to make it through some of the more challenging sections ahead. What lies ahead is 15 days in low range, crossing some of the harshest terrain Australia has to offer. Croc-infested rivers, endless seas of vehicles swallowing mud, and grass so long you could lose a vehicle in it. One way in and one way out. No shortcuts, no help. To add to that, we'll be the first ones to attempt the track for the season after a massive wet. This should make for a wild couple of weeks. So good to be back on the mighty Oombi, my favourite four-wheel drive track in the world. Look at the grass, look at that. It's kind of weird because, I can't see anything except directly in front of me. I can't see anything out there. Crazy cool.
The grass is one thing, but the real problem out here is the huge amount of water still around. Just 10 Ks into the track and our first real test, the Molaka Flats.
Yeah, you got a copy there, Shaun?
Yeah, gotcha, mate.
Hey, mate, this is probably the spot that was, being a bit of a nightmare for me. As you know, you got that bloody creek up there, and we've had some high tide, so yeah, I'd like to see how we go up here.
You don't fill me with confidence, mate. Is it pretty wet, is it?
Yeah, I reckon so, but we've got some good rigs here. I reckon we might be able to get across, bro.
Alright, well, I'm just going to nose out. I see a bit of a salt flat. It looks a bit dicey.
Definitely give me fair warning. I'm right up at the back here. I don't want any mud on me car, eh?
Something tells me I reckon you got no choice in that.
Yeah, two right there.
This is the sort of terrain, though, as soon as you bog down, it's all over.
Yeah, that's right. And when you break that surface, man, it's like that suction mud too.
Let's have a look at this. This creek line might look small, but once you break the surface of the salt flat, getting out of the mud can be almost impossible. I'm going on the grass, and I reckon I'm just going to give it a little scoot through. Yep. I'll be so quick that even Soot won't know she's bogged.
Have a go in there and have a look.
That's nasty.
You should walk all water crossings.
You got this.
Got me up there, Shaun.
Yeah, got you, mate.
Years of experience is leading up to what I'm about to say now, mate. Good luck. Shaun is tackling this one at what looks to be the most firm part of the crossing, but looks can be deceiving.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, don't get yourself too bogged. We'll run the winch up to you. Have another couple of goes at it.
Yeah, I actually knocked a bit of the bank on the other side over, but yeah, it pulled us back.
A bit more bunchy and you probably would have made that.
I'll sort of make a bit of a ram and then I'll give it a red hot go. If there's one thing we've learned about the mud in the top end over the years, it's that it's always more treacherous than it looks. Yeah, good to go when you're ready, mate.
Righto, mate, I'll give you a little winch and see what happens. Yeah, you might have to get two on here.
Stuck. Very stuck.
I reckon we got to put Liam on you too. It's just pulling Graham forward.
We're going to double our chances here, with Liam securing the D-Max and also switching to a double line pull.
Righto, let's see how this goes.
Like him, about to become a long wheelbase D-Max. A double line pull hugely improves your winch's leverage, and Sooty is on the move.
I'm slowly coming out. My tyres are like slips.
I can feel me loading up too. He is stuck.
But the mud just doesn't want to release its hold. I reckon we've got to put a second winch on you, mate.
Yeah, copy. Get ours down there.
Well, we've now got 3 runvers attached to the back of Shaun, so if this doesn't work, we run out of runvers.
Yeah, very spicy.
We're only going to get him back. You've got to go back a metre, mate.
Yeah, I know.
That's all we need is a metre. Metre and a bit.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, listen.
Coming.
Getting pulled.
Coming.
You coming?
It's working. That's so stuck. It's not funny. As soon as she pops up, it's going to be like a cork just popping to the surface.
Didn't realise we brought a grader with us.
Yeah, this is pretty loose.
Oh, have a go at those wheels.
Have a look at this amount of mud that's underneath.
Holy heck.
I thought you were actually being jacked up by the mud as you were coming out. Have another crack, you mad dog.
Nah.
Have another crack. I don't know, it just feels like we've done so much work now. The problem here is that even if Shaun hits the other side with pace, he's likely to bog the rear wheels in the crossing. And we have no way to winch forward. It's soon clear that we'll have to try a different approach. And the better option might be to try a deeper section of the crossing, which at least has less of a bank on the exit.
What's the worst that could happen? Here we go. See how stuck I can get this time. If we can even get one vehicle across, we'll have a winch point for the whole convoy. So I'm not going to hold back. So close. I've got my tyres out up here.
Yeah, but these ones are in.
Far out.
I don't think we've got any other choice but to pull you backwards.
I've basically got 2 tyres at the front just about out of the mud, and this one here is not too bad at all. Just got one tyre that's really quite bogged. I think I'm going to go for the call of pulling me back out and have one more go. I hesitated a little bit at the throttle. I was 3rd gear low range, and you just didn't know how hard I was going to hit this other bank, so I sort of just backed off a fraction. I should have really stuck into it. You've seen me kick a ball, never question, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
I think we need a rematch.
It's absolutely gutting to have to winch back after getting so close to the other side. And once again, it's a massive effort.
If it comes up this bank, you're laughing. What's your plan this time, cowboy?
You're going to hear another sound of soot you've never heard for a while.
I like it. They're good ruts for a D-Max.
Yeah.
Well, they're just about
Perfect.
where I need to be.
Skate on either side of them. Take 2, and this time, I'm giving myself a real run-up.
He's going to get a run-up from the Pentecost and basically hit it with just a little more fury. Stand back. Not even close that time. Let's go again.
A bit of a mistake. going back through my same old ruts. I thought I've cleared a bit of a path here, but turns out I just dipped myself straight out.
All right, round 2, or is it 3?
Straighten up. Yep. Well, as you can see, he ain't taking no prisoners on this one. He's going to move slightly to the right, which was actually the line I was going to take and hopefully get through in the D-Max, but it's this side here that we've got issues on because he's got to come up this pure mud on this side here. If only there was something to winch off on this side, it'd be so much easier, but it's not the Oombi for no reason, eh? Here we go. I'm standing back.
If I can't make this, our trip may be over on day 1, so I'm going to give it absolutely everything. How epic though. Woo! Didn't think I'd do it. We did it.
That was impressive.
There's a bit of 4th gear low range for you.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. I'm really hoping Graham makes this because if we get 2 vehicles over is way better than having 1. And we've sort of found a bit of a technique. It's flat out and try not to go in the same ruts twice. So he knows what to do and how to do it. Let's bring him across. Righto, mate, this is all on you. I wish you all the luck in the world, mate. I really hope you make it.
I think it's a fine line between pleasure and pain.
Yeah, go for pain, baby. Don't hesitate.
4th gear.
Here he goes. Yeah, more. Stop. Yes, that's all right.
Yeah, like I just wanted to make that just a pretty calculated thing.
Graham's gone for the safe option here and coming with just enough speed to get the nose up the other side. And with Sooty as a winch point, we should be able to get him through easily. Come on, easy winch. Here he comes. Here he comes. Sooty's got a big caboose. She's great as an anchor.
We're getting there.
Well done, mate. 2 vehicles over.
It might not seem like it, but this crossing has already eaten up several hours. And we're starting to run out of light with more than half the convoy still to get through.
All right, Liam, don't hold back, mate. Give it a red hot go.
Let's, gun it and hopefully it goes through.
You got this, mate. You got this.
Backed off, but he's got it, He hadn't backed off.
Just backed off.
Well, I really wanted to gun that, but when you're coming up to it, it just drops away from you and it looks like a vertical bank on the other side. And I really didn't want to smash that front end.
That's it, mate. That's it. Nice and slow.
Just a little tug and I'm out and we can keep going.
Rightio. Let's see how we go. I don't want to go too fast.
No, there's the back off. Oh, big old winch. Big old winch.
Too much hesitation,
Oh,
So, covered in mud as day 1. I have noticed a shower on your roof rack.
I do, and it heats up during the day with the sun, and it's currently at 45 degrees, which is optimal.
Obviously, I got you unstuck, so
Yeah,
look,
I would have done the same for you, so that's
that comes
equal.
down to friendship.
Yep.
I'll give you. I don't even want to say this. Oh!
Whoa! Whoa! Have we got a backup drone? That just happened live.
Wow!
Holy heck!
That was the most hectic thing I've seen.
It's all right, we can rebuild it.
Here, get out of the way. I'll do it. I'll use a shower. Okay, fine. I'm doing this for the team.
I'll hold your shorts.
Dude, I'm not wearing undies, so be careful.
That's friendship, folks.
we got 12 days. This is day 1. Can I just remind everyone?
Have we got another drone?
Well, this one just needs a good wash out. So if I took this in your shower,
All of a sudden.
it's coming.
Am I getting dragged or rolling?
Gonna grab the D-Max. Stop there. The 79 has some big leaf packs under the rear, and they've gotten very hung up in the mud. And once again, it takes a few vehicles hooking up to give us enough leverage to pull Az out of the mud.
Wow, he is stuck.
getting there. Getting there.
Ronnie is going to have his work cut out following these ruts, but he's got his own ideas.
Well, I think that one's been pretty well used. This one's a no-go, so I'm going to cut across a bit of virgin area here. See how I go. But the best thing is we've got cars to cover me, so.
Ronnie's up next. There's not a lot of options. He's got to give it a red hot go, though. I know that much. He's done this 100 times or more. I reckon he'll do all right. He won't back off like Az did.
I'll move down.
When you're ready, let's hear that V8 sing.
Yep, I'll give it a fair old whack.
Gas it, another gear. Pull another gear. Go, go, go. There he goes.
Has done it before.
Woo!
Well
That's how you do it.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Can you stop trying to run me over on the flats, please?
I know you, but stop jumping around like a bloody kangaroo.
Righto, let's go. Just like that, our first day in the Kimberley is almost done and dusted. And with the track being so hard to find, pushing on into the night isn't really an option. So we're soon looking for a spot to park up for the night. Well, boys, that was, let's say that was very eventful. I'm covered in mud. It's day one. I think it's time to find a campsite.
Hey, Ronnie, what do you reckon, mate? You're the expert around here. Camp, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I reckon just on the edge of the grass flat there. Probably where Shaun is right now. Try and circle the wagons and set something up.
Yeah, it's a good little spot here, I reckon. This will probably do us. Maybe crack a tinny or two.
Crack a tinny or two, I like it. After sweating it out in the heat of the top end, every camp in the Kimberley is guaranteed to be glorious, even when you're camping on a mud flat.
First day in the Kimberley doesn't disappoint. And here we are at a beautiful little campsite. I was really hoping we would make one of the creek systems for tonight. See, we've got the Wilson and then of course the Durack. Both will fish extremely well, and I'm pretty excited about that. But for now, this will do as the perfect campsite, and maybe we'll be able to wash some of this mud off and be refreshed for tomorrow.
We've cryovac'd a bunch of meat for this trip, and we're taking turns cooking for the convoy each night. And Az soon has a hot meal brewing in the Mitt's kitchen.
We've got no idea what the conditions are going to be like ahead, but I, for one, can't wait to find out. You know, I've been to the Kimberley a few times, right?
We have.
This is about the wildest I've seen it for...
The water, even on the side of the roads coming up the Gibb, which we've got a permit to come up, no one else is allowed to come up here now, and the Gibb has got grass growing across it. Water on either side.
There's water everywhere, mate, and
this is what worries me.
We are camped on a mud flat. It would be so nice to have a fire. But
a fire would be lovely, but there's no wood for miles. Tomorrow, if we can get, I think it's 18k or something to the Durack. If we could just do, mate, that sounds so pathetic, 18k.
Mate.
Even you could walk that.
If we get there early, I'm going to fake a breakdown. There's no doubt about it, because I want to fish that thing like you've never seen before.
Well, you're driving, Sooty, so it won't be hard. Crack this, and I reckon
I can't wait. I want to sit down and
tomorrow's a new day.
Marta Cars for Cancer are at it again with their Battle of the Beasts, where you'll need to decide which tow vehicle are you going to park in your driveway. Is it going to be the Chevy ZR2 or the big Ram 1500? Either way, you're going to get yourself an off-road caravan and also pocket over $100,000 worth of gold bullion. For as little as $30, you could be taking home a total prize package worth $380,000. So head to the website carsforcancer.com.au, get your entries in real quick, because this draw ends on the 13th of July. Good luck.
Get 15% off the Raptor range right now at 4drive247.com. Whether you've got a bigger project and you need some 4-litre kits to paint the whole vehicle, or you've got some smaller touch-ups to do with these 2-pack aerosol cans, right through to their new high-temp paint range. This is a roll bar and chassis, but you can get it for engine enamel, wheel paint, even for painting exhaust headers, you name it. This stuff is so good. I've been using this a lot. So if you want to get some new Raptor products for your project, jump on to 4drive247.com and don't miss out.
The views around camp this morning are nothing short of incredible, with the Cockburn Ranges framing our camp in the far distance. We'll be getting further and further away from civilization as we make our way along the Oombi, with no phone reception and no resupply. And that means a lot of trip planning before you start. Well, it's hard to believe. We literally only did 11.4 kilometres yesterday. Let me put that into a little bit of perspective for you. the entirety of the trip is just under 500, and that distance doesn't get us to a large service station where I can buy an ice cream. It just gets us to the Kalumburu Road. From there, we still have to either go, depending on fuel supplies, into Kalumburu if it's open, or south down to Drysdale to get fuel, and that is why D-Max is set up like this. Taking the MITS canopy off still means I've got water down the front here, electrics, the whole lot, and I've got 15 jerries of diesel here, 3 jerries of water, and of course all the supplies I need for the trip. But I'm basically the support truck to get us that 500 kilometres that we need. So it's exactly why the big rig is set up the way she is. The good news is all that distance means big open skies, big fires, big fish hopefully. That's all in the future. For now, let's get packed up, let's get these boys sorted, and let's get on the track.
500 Ks might not sound like much on normal roads, but out here, you'll chew the litres very quickly. We've allowed for between 200 and 240 litres per vehicle to make it back to Drysdale. But even that might be barely enough if the track conditions don't improve.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 2 out here.
Ronnie's taken the lead today as we head into the dense scrub on the way to the Durack River, which will be another big test for conditions ahead.
What I'm most excited about today is we're now starting to get more remote, and I guess it goes with the territory. The more remote you go, sometimes the better the fishing opportunities.
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be a lot of great opportunities for fishing. While we're still a bit earlier in the year, mate, I think the barras will still be on the bite. Anytime you get a wet in the line, do so, because you'll never know.
Got a couple of recipes planned, actually. I just need a couple of ingredients. That's the only thing I'm lacking at the moment. So to give you an idea of what I'm dealing with in the cabin of old Sooty, I just want to show you the passenger seat. It's a couple of outfits there just ready to go. That's basically how I'm travelling. Everything's sort of within reach, so if we do get to a spot we can fish, usually don't have a lot of time with filming, so I'll just grab a rod, have a few casts, get back in the car, and off you go. You don't have to try and set up a fishing rod or anything like that. I've always got 4 to go, like just ready for just about any situation. Yeah, I'm pretty keen, there's no doubt about that.
The preparation pays off as we hit the Wilson River, where a few casts land Shaun's first barramundi of the trip.
It's not going to be enough to feed the boys, but it's a start.
When you're not crossing rivers or mud flats, the Oombi track is rocky as all heck, and we're soon getting stuck into some challenging climbs.
Jeepers creepers, Ronnie.
I can't see.
Yeah, keep going.
This morning we had 18 kilometres ahead of us to make the Durack River, but in these conditions you're lucky to make a few kilometres an hour, and the day is getting on as we creep our way forward.
Hold on.
Late in the afternoon we arrive at one of the most iconic challenges of the track, the crossing of the Durack River.
Righto, gents. Welcome to the mighty Durack crossing. As you can see, you got boulders galore. We're not going to try and attempt this crossing tonight. I think it'll be just a bit too dangerous. I'll take you to a spot there where we can do some fishing tonight.
Yeah, I like the sound of that, mate. You would want to start crossing it now. But catching a cricket score a barra does, so let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can take you to the spot. Catching the barras will be totally up to you guys.
We know from experience just how challenging this rocky crossing can be, and at this time of year, timing the tides is essential. The crossing sits right where the salt water meets the fresh, and that's the perfect place to chase barra when the tide is right.
All right, we're all ready. We've just packed up. We haven't even set up camp. We're just going to rush down to the Durack and try and catch some barramundi.
I'm going to say this, and it's half a lie, half truth. The Durack, where the fresh meets the salt, this is one of those places where a fish is a bonus. It's a big bonus,
yeah,
but it is such a pretty spot.
I think a lot of people think when you come to a place like this, fish are just going to jump on the shore as soon as you start casting. That's not how it happens. But we're just so stoked to be here. And the only way you're going to find out if the fish are biting.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Go.
Enough talking.
The fishing around here can be off tap, but there's so many factors that can affect it, like tides, heat, humidity, and of course even phases of the moon.
Where's this elusive meadery?
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
I'm manifesting it.
We've put in a fair effort this afternoon, but only caught a few small barra, and so the hunt is still on for a trophy fish.
Oh, first Durack River. Barra.
After a quick break for a feed and to set up camp, we're back by the water, ready for a night session.
Despite fishing late into the night, it takes until the morning on an outgoing tide to finally bag what I've been chasing. But that just makes the payoff all the sweeter.
Good sis? Yes! That's why we do this sometimes. Catch fish like this is what dreams are made of. Got up early, we've been fishing hard, and finally it's all paid off. That is a huge barramundi. I'm gonna guess that's between 90 and a metre.
I'll tell you right now.
All right, let's have a look at that one. What's that one? 90?
94.
94. It's a good fish.
94.
We'll let this one go, but we can get a couple of 70s to eat.
I'm getting in.
You better have a cast, Az. This is absolutely wild. Oh, I'm so stoked. Yes! Off you go, let's put it back.
With the account open and a couple of solid barra in the fridge for dinner, it's time to turn our attention to the crossing. The Durack is a minefield of giant boulders just waiting to hang up your forby. Combined with deep, fast-flowing water and the ever-present risk of big saltwater crocs, this one is not for the faint-hearted.
There she is, the mighty Durack. All that water coming down is actually fresh water, it's all runoff. So during the wet season, all these floodplains fill up with fresh water. All that water just runs down to meet the salt, and that's exactly where we're crossing at the moment. So it is fresh water, especially on the low tide. Doesn't look any easier though.
Jeepers creepers, there's a lot of water down there. Just getting to this damn river's a challenge.
This gives you a taste of what that Durack crossing's like, because you've got the same sort of boulders, but you just can't see them under all that water.
Throw in the odd crocodile here and there, and yeah, it paints a pretty picture.
Just to make things a little bit more daunting, Ronnie has let us know that this is where he's going to have to leave us. With his first two are not too far off and plenty to sort out for the season, he's given us the green light to push on our own steam, after he's seen us safely cross the Durack.
Yeah, so when you go over that, you're gonna want to be on a bit of an angle going over.
Yeah, because you don't get chassis out.
That's right.
It's so hard to describe the different landmarks in the waterway, because rocks, rapids. I'm going to go between those rocks, past those rapids, the waterfall.
The next rapid.
I'll drive up the waterfall, and then I'll go through that massive deep hole.
Yep. You got it.
I'll catch a barra on the way. Why not?
There's no such thing as too much preparation for a crossing like this, and we're all spooling out plenty of winch rope in case we need to go forward or backwards in the crossing. Any one of the boulders in the river could completely hang up a drive line, so planning the best possible line is also key. Ultimately though, you just got to suck it and see.
All right, boys, wish us luck.
Right, Shauno's in. He's officially in the water.
Deep, it's really deep. It's moving. Front,
The strategy we're trying is to daisy chain the vehicles across the crossing, so we can quickly winch out of trouble if anyone gets stuck. As soon as the D-Max hits the water, a hidden boulder pulls it offline, and now has a heap of rocks catching underneath it.
Good.
I'm real hung up now. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm proper hung up now, mate. I may as well come forward. I'm not going to get over the gatekeepers.
Just winch straight off, so it. We'll get us unhook you pretty quickly, so I can get out of the way and you can get up here.
As he's struggling in the water, got a man down. He's swimming.
When you get traction, make sure you go left. You've got a big bundi in front of you.
With everything prepared, it's a quick recovery and Graham is out of that deep patch with hopefully not too much water in the cab.
Big rock there, big rock. Oh, turn. That's him, that's him. Oh yeah!
Alright, Graham, I'm just making my way in now.
It was a minefield in here, but you'll see him. You just got to zigzag around, so you'll see him. But I'll guide you too, best I can.
Go left hand turn before that. Graham.
You'll see them. There's two big rocks you got to go between here. Yep, that's well done.
Good drive, brother.
Well done, mate. Well done. And those two big, yeah, go between them. Bit of, yep, bit of left, yep.
This is absolutely one of the more sketchy things you can do on a four-wheel drive, but Graham has committed and managed to power through.
It's got to be deep, this bit.
You good? I'm going to have to take a bit of reverse and have another go at it, but I'll see how I go. I want to try on my own.
Deep. But I'm through the Durack. Yes. Yeah, good's that.
Now, the plan had been to keep Graham on the rocks as an anchor point, but in all the excitement, he's forgotten to stop.
You want to hold them up, or is Shaun going to come back to that waterfall?
Graham got excited. Did it, Tim?
I am so sorry. I did it, Tim. I got excited.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Yes.
You're making it look too easy. Good on you.
How good's that, eh?
That's pretty darn sick, man.
Yes!
That was pretty cool, brother. That was
Well
sick.
done.
Az and Liam are both running 35s, but the 79, of course, has much less clearance, and Az is going to have to pick a perfect line to make it through.
Alrighty, I don't have my seatbelt on for this one, just in case I do need to jump out.
Look at the size of these boulders.
Yeah, I know.
Hard work just getting to the river.
Now he's just got to get up to the back of me. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck. So I've still got dry feet.
As you'll need to park on top of that rapids when Liam gets out of the way for the camera car.
Yep, copy.
Oh, Az might be stuck. No, he's got it. He's got this.
Yeah, good line, Liam.
Liam is through that middle section like a boss. Well done, mate.
Now, unlike me, mate, if you pull up on top of that,
Woo!
Yeah, hold there. Hold there. Now, do you want to get the camera car? Because that's going to need some winching.
Right, we'll cruise here. One thing.
The camera boys have opted to go last on this one, and they've got a couple of challenges. First, that rig is loaded to the eyeballs with gear and packs some serious weight, but also has huge leaf backs to hold all that weight, which reduces the clearance.
sure enough, the rear has gotten hung up just a few metres into the crossing.
Can you go back?
Once again, though, everything is set up for a quick recovery, and Az wades in and gets the boys hooked up.
Winch out!
Woo! It's nice having a little bath. Once you boys get to me, I might chuck it on free spool, drive for a bit, and then lock it up again, maybe.
Yeah, copy.
I'm going to drive. You drive with me. Just so it pulls it out because we're going to have to winch anyway. I'll just go slow.
There we go. There we go.
Did a brute swap, mate.
Right, here we go.
Go for it, mate.
Start driving, Oz, if you can.
Mate, I am driving.
Things are not going well down the back, and our camera boys have opted for the dry boots method of disengaging the free spool. But they're soon on the move again.
Whoa, that is some clear water. Nice and fresh.
Once you're on the winch, it's hard to choose a line, and the guys are picking up all the boulders pushed off the side by the rest of the convoy. But after a huge pull on the rumba, they've made it through.
Gonna come to us, mate. Gonna come to us.
We got this. We have got this.
Straight through this gap here, mate.
Woo! Yes!
Well done, Az. Well done, mate.
Yes!
That's hectic.
That is sick.
Just gently, as you do that through.
Still has to go. Still has to go.
There you go, let's go. Beautifully done, boys.
Yes, boys. Well done.
Big clean boy.
Tick, done. Yes.
Durack River. What an insane crossing.
Woo!
Well done, boys. That's pretty sick.
Well done, fellas.
Well done. Yeah.
With Ronnie leaving us here and the Durack behind us, we're now truly alone in the Kimberley, with no way out other than back across the Durack or several hundred kilometres ahead to the Drysdale. And that means this adventure has officially kicked up a year.
Perfect. Happy days.
Well, that went exactly according to plan, and the reason for that, of course, was prior preparation. You saw we took out a whole heap of winch rope off all of the rumbas, looped them up around here so that we could grab them nice and easy. So if anyone got stuck, the rumbas were ready to basically either pull someone out backwards or to pull the person from behind forward. I don't know about you folks, but I literally would not come out here without a winch. They pay for themselves in just one use, especially if the one use of your winch is in the middle of the Durack River with a rising tide, folks. Get a winch you trust, chuck it on your vehicle. I kind of hope for your sake you never have to use it, but if you do, it's good to have one.
After one last fish and a couple more barra in the Dometic, it's time to push on. And from here on, we're going to have to find the track by ourselves.
Well, Graham, Durack has been ticked off, mate. Couple of barra in the fridge as well. What a day.
Durack Barra, and we haven't even started. I mean, that's like, it's almost like we've just gone through the front gate.
Yeah, tell me about it. I reckon we've got about 10 more days of this. And at the moment, now Ronnie's gone, I can't even see the track. I've just got to try and figure it out. The grass is so high.
Unfathomable. I just can't. That's like 6 months worth of growth. That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, mate. I'm going to be do my best to try and find this track, but I can't promise anything. It's so overgrown. The thing is, you get off the track just a little bit, and then you just completely lost it. We've brought various mapping tools with us to help guide us across the hundreds of k's of thick scrub. Whether it's tall grass, fast-growing saplings pushing up through the track, or creek entries changed by the wet season flooding, finding the track makes for one heck of a challenge. And once again, the hours just roll away as we push on deeper into the Kimberley. After a huge afternoon, the light's getting on and it's time to make camp. And this one looks to be a cracker. I think that's going to just about do us for the day. This is a good little campsite, as good as any really. It's got a beautiful view over this ridge line, and we're just sort of driving around, just flattening some grass. It's just been a day of days, and top it off with a beautiful Kimberley campsite. Put a fork in me because I am done. Yeah, this is perfect.
Sunset beers in the Kimberley after a huge day on the tracks. It's an experience that's hard to beat. Except, of course, with a roaring campfire. We've got one more item to tick off to make today complete. And tonight, the boys are in for a real treat as Chef Whale is in the house.
Well, how good is this in the Kimberley? And I mean, what a way to kick off the Kimberley. This has ticked all the boxes for me. We've done the Durack today. We've caught heaps of Barramundi as well. And that sort of might give you a bit of a hint of what's going on tonight for dinner tonight. So, oh, mate.
Hey.
How you going?
Good.
It's been a while since you and I have had a little cook up together, but nothing has changed. It's good to see.
I'd buy you a beer, but you don't seem to have one in there. Cheers mate.
Yeah,
your
we're
beers
doing
are
Barra
cold.
tonight. I just want to go through the scorecard of how many Barra we all
Okay,
caught
get it out of the way. Come on, get it out of the way.
I caught an amazing one, like fish of a lifetime sort of thing this morning.
The hallowed mark is a metre.
Okay,
That's
it fell short just slightly, but only just by a little bit. It was a gorgeous fish, but
Story of my life.
I had to let it go. We obviously caught a couple of smaller ones.
Yep.
Now,
What's the legal limits for people that are watching at home?
55 is the
minimum.
The minimum size.
Maximum.
The maximum size is 80 centimetres, I think.
After that, they're breeders.
It sounds funny for a lot of people who are not
100%.
into fishing.
Yep.
You want to catch a couple of smaller ones,
Yep.
ideally.
Throw the big ones back.
And they actually are nicer fillet. That's exactly what I got in the Dometic, mate. So what we're going to do is a bit of a yellow curry. It really focuses on the fish. There's no rice, there's no other jazz. It's just a lot of fish with a bit of a yellow curry sort of flavour. So
Nice.
I want to jump into the Dometic, mate.
Holy heck! That's some filetos.
There's no better way to start a Kimberley adventure with a bit of fresh barra, and this is caught today. When I prepared all these barra, I basically left the skin on. You notice I've cut those into pretty big sized pieces. So
Like
they're
remarkably
just,
big.
This is actually, you know what, we did all right. We did all right today.
Oh, that's a stonking amount of fish.
Oh, that one's got scales.
Don't worry, people will chew on them. So you're going to go yellow curry first?
Yeah, we will. We'll just go half though.
Sure.
Because I'm going to keep half for the pan.
Straight in.
Now, I'm going to try and wipe my hands up because there's fish juice everywhere.
Why don't you, hang on, wait, before you do that, why don't you massage that in?
I thought you were going to try to smell my fingers.
No.
That's the first thing I thought. That's weird.
I suggest you just give that up.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to go a bit of salt and pepper as well. Actually, if you could do that while I do the massaging.
Yep, sure. There you go. Get that right in there. Hang on, sorry, I just...
Oh, gee.
No, I've got a bad elbow.
No,
My elbow's been sore for a little while. And
I get it. It really helps if I just go on one leg too. Bit of fish here, so.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really
Salt. Just, I don't know for the technique.
Don't get it in my beer at least.
When I was in uni, that was a popular thing.
When you're lonely in the caravan, I bet that's a popular thing, I guess. Now, if you could get the heat on the go.
Yes, I can. I've even got a thing here.
Look at this. This is looking really good. A bit of oil. So what I always do, like, this is not a curry thing, but when you're cooking fish, I reckon a mixture of like half oil, half butter. The butter gives a nice flavour, but it doesn't burn hot enough, and the oil will get the heat.
Correct.
You know this?
Yeah, it's a chef thing.
What we're going to do is basically just sear off the fish. So we're not going to cook it completely. Just put a little bit of garlic in there with that. So I'll try and go skin side down. If you cut your fish too small, the problem is then
it'll flake apart.
It'll all fall apart.
Yeah.
It'll cook too quick. We'll take them off the heat. We've got another little batch of fish to go on there as well. We'll basically take all the fish when it's sort of semi-cooked off the heat, and then I'll start making the curry, add it all back together, and that is dinner. All right, that's all been cooked. Now it's time to make the curry, mate.
Yep.
What I'm going to do is get the rest of that.
Butter?
No, the curry.
Oh, yeah.
Whack that in.
Now?
Yeah, whack it in now.
Gee whiz.
There's all the juices from the fish.
Everything's still in there.
A little bit of butter, and we're just going to get that, and we'll stir that around. And when you start to smell it, you know you're ready to start adding other bits and pieces. So I'm just cutting an onion. A lot of people have just started following the channel. They see this old pot that looks pretty gross on the back here. I just want to say I've had this camp oven for 17 years. 17 years I've worked it out, and it's cooked so many camp meals.
You've never washed it once, in my humble opinion. But you don't wash these. You don't actually wash.
You don't wash
a
them
camp
properly,
oven.
and it makes the best meals. Just a bit of garlic. Oh, that's quite a bit. We go a little bit of fish sauce. Every time you put fish sauce, so that's obviously quite the sour thing. You want something a little bit sweet, so I'm going to go a bit of sugar.
Coconut milk?
Bit of coconut milk.
You know you're getting close. Oh, that smell.
When the coconut milk goes in.
When the coconut milk goes in.
Oh, gee.
Settle down, mate.
It's been a while in the bush.
It doesn't take much for me. I've got a cameraman called Tom, and he looked today, the silhouette. Anyway.
Put some veggies in.
Folks at home will notice we're using tins.
For good reason. Up here, the heat is so insane. If you tried to carry fresh veggies and say they weren't in the Dometic, you just had them in a box or in your drawers, something like that.
You're not going to get anywhere.
You wouldn't last probably a day. See if I can put all these fish pieces in. And what's going to do is putting them back in is obviously going to get the curry flavour through them like in a really nice way, but it's also going to cook the rest of the fish.
How long do you reckon that you're going to give that?
Oh, like 5 minutes.
That little?
When the fish is overcooked,
yep.
Firstly, it's overcooked, and no one likes overcooked fish, but secondly, it breaks apart. The only way you're going to stuff fish up is if you overcook it. Simple as that.
Can I put the lid on?
So good.
If only you could smell that.
Put that on.
Righto, 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
That's a beer.
One brewski,
hey,
and we'll be back.
Little behind the scenes, our cameraman did the old swoop, stole me beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, totally. Tombo did. Just like over here.
Busted.
Stole me beer.
Well, mate, I think it's been about 5 or 6 minutes. Turn the heat off. Boys, jump in. Oh, look at that. There's just big chunks of fish.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going for here tonight.
Big chunks of basmati.
How's this? Barramundi that was swimming probably, let's call it 7 hours ago.
7 ago, yeah.
7 hours ago.
Good news is, or bad, depending how you say it, we're going to cook on this for the next 10 nights. We have so far to go, boys.
Oh, we're only just into it.
I reckon the fire's going pretty good. Sit around that, crack a couple of coldies, and we can talk about how big the barra was this morning that I caught.
I've got nothing to add to this conversation. Neither of you, don't laugh.
Oh, I saw it.
Day 4 on the track sees us about 40 k's into the Oombi, with another 50 k's ahead just to make it to the old town of Oombulgurri, our first goal of the trip. We're going to have to pick up the pace over the coming days, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy a bit of luxury camping.
Morning, folks. Heck of a night last night. I had a beautiful view over the ranges. Moon was out for the entire night, which was lovely. I've got some eggs on the go for breakfast here. How'd you pull up after last night's curry, mate?
Yeah, pretty good, mate.
Certainly works for me. Let's just say that.
A rearrange at the back here.
Nice. I had to do the same last night. I had stuff everywhere after that river crossing. Big old soot, looking sooty as always. Look at Az in the old King and his castle up here. Look at the bloke. He's on the carnivore diet. It's like
steak and eggs for brekkie.
7:15 in the morning. The big fella's having steak and eggs for brekkie. Yeah. Come with me, folks. I want to show you something. It's a bit special. I've not actually seen it yet, so I don't exactly know what's going to happen. Look at that. Look at that. That's actually pretty darn clever. That's Az's clothes drawer, all nice and high. Everything's organised. Shouldn't go poking around in a bloke's under your drawer, should you? It's a bit weird. Liam over here, pretty basic setup, but comfortable nonetheless. Swag on a stretcher.
Morning, mate.
How are you, bud?
Absolutely fine.
Ooh, bacon and eggs.
Look at that view.
Yeah, I know, it is spectacular, isn't it? I don't know if this little camera can capture it, but that is something else. Bacon and eggs this morning. That's a bit of an average camp for us in the sense this is what we have. We camp every night, circle the wagons. However, before we can get going this morning, that right there has some fairly big issues we have to sort out.
After a rocky little crossing, the camera boys noticed some weird noises coming from under the GU. It turns out to be from a U-bolt that sheared and left the shock mount plate hanging in the breeze. It's always the way that the one spare you forget is the one you break. And despite a truckload of parts on board the GU, a spare U-bolt is not one of them.
Lucky camera boys noticed this one. Must have been in the Durack or one of the many rocks we've crossed over so far. They've actually snapped the U-bolt, or one of the U-bolts anyway. It's snapped and sheared right off, it's bent this one. And the problem is, of course, now I've only got one. They've both backed off. The nuts on the bottom of these U-bolts, they're about to snap. They're bent as well. And the locator bolt was essentially just swinging in the breeze as well. So if that snapped, then the whole diff would have moved forward or backwards and just not been able to locate on the leaf spring properly. It's good we found it when we did, but we've got to figure a way how to fix this because we're a long way from any help, and this vehicle's got to now do probably 450 kilometres of this sort of rough terrain. So the fix we come up with has to be pretty bomber because otherwise it just simply won't make it.
With the damaged U-bolt now too short and twisted badly into the bargain, the only solution is to find something else to keep everything in place.
We can use some ratchet straps.
First though, we've got to get that shock out of the way.
An eyelet bolt from Liam's kit makes for a securing point for the ratchet straps, and a plan is soon underway to get it all together.
Easy. Not easy. If the strap went from here, right, over, and oh, you can't. Can you go through? No. And then back up to here?
I can.
Then you can really...
So you've only got 600 kilos on that strap. Go around as many times as you can before lashing it.
Why don't we just use this one and then we'll get another one and we'll start...
Green one over it.
Yeah. This will just...
I'd be going over with as many straps as we have. Take them off the roof if we have to.
The straps are going to be under a huge amount of pressure, especially as the diff moves up and down. So to minimise movement, we're adding a very bush spec solution.
Righto. I figured because these straps are probably not rated to hold 4 tonne of old petrol, what we're going to do is try and limit the articulation. So what we're going to do is get a block of wood from the chassis and the leaf spring, and basically it's like a solid block, so that suspension's not going to be moving. It's going to stay nice and solid. It's going to be horrible for rider quality, but it's going to probably stop those straps from breaking. You know me, bomber.
So we have 2 perfectly cut logs either side of the diff housing, and now with as many ratchet straps as we can, we'll just strap everything, make sure the logs don't fall out, get it super tight, lash the diff to the leaf spring and hope for the best.
To avoid a repeat incident, we're also cutting off the trailing ends of the remaining U-bolt and doing the same to the bolts on the other side.
It's not going anywhere.
Yes! Yeah. We're going to be fine. It's going to be good, mate.
She might be looking like a Flintstone rig right now, but the camera car is back on the track. We're stopping every K or so to check the fix, and so far it's all holding together. But soon the terrain is getting rocky again, and inevitably things start to move around.
So we've gotten about 5 Ks down the road, and there was a big downhill descent with some wombat holes in it, so it's put a lot of strain on these straps. Might just tension everything up. Some of the straps have moved, one's pulled through in between the diff and the springs here, so hopefully we'll get it nice and tight, get back going on the track, try and get there. Say the words. It's not going anywhere.
In the background, we've been messaging Ronnie on the sat phone to see if there's any wrecked cars on the Oombi that might yield a spare U-bolt. Although the next one we pass is probably a long shot.
I reckon we can get this going. Look at the size of those big donkeys. Put one of those U-bolts on.
Does anyone have a size?
9,000.
Yeah, 38 socket. Never know what you find out in the scrub. Now, we're just checking to see, obviously it's got U-bolts, but they're bigger than the Patrol, just the U-bolts, so I think that we'll leave those as they are, but pretty cool to see it out here.
Have a go at the size of the PTO winch on this sucker.
I know.
It's bigger than the engine in the car.
Mid-mounted winch.
Holy heck.
Liam's latest fix seems to be working though. And despite everything, we're making some good progress today, aside from a few rolling repairs.
Yep. There it is. There it is. Right there. That's lucky. But if I kept driving that, then it probably would have just completely ruined it. Sooty! Stop! Righto, this happens obviously quite a bit in Soot, so this is my second key. It's a little bit of wire. I'll be back. I've done this once or twice before. You think a new starter would fix your starter motor issues. Turns out, it's just not convenient to do this all the time. People give you weird looks in shopping centres. Now, I know there's a lot of very talented people that watch our show. Now, what could be wrong with my starter? Why won't it start sometimes? I know it's not the starter motor. That's been replaced a bunch of times. It's getting the right voltage at the starter motor. So I've replaced the relay. What could it be? Let us know in the comments. Very keen.
There's one major river still between us and the town of Oombi and the route over, known as the Gila Crossing. Now, it's going to be a real challenge for our bush fix on the camera car. First though, there's a little treat for the crew coming up. A perfect croc-free swimming hole that's sorely needed after some hot days on the track.
Got a little Barramundi cook up on the go. It's got some leftover baza, slightly seasoned on some butter. About as fresh as you can get. Yeah, doing it pretty tough in the Kimberley today.
We're about 20 k's into the bush fix on the GU, and on the rocks down to the creek, a bunch of straps have let go. And at this rate, we'll have run out of straps long before we finish the track. So it's time to get a little more radical. Liam's come up with the idea of using the Runva winch to actually hold the diff in position. He's donated the hook from the 200 to the cause, and after a lot of careful manoeuvring, we find a way to run the winch rope through without fouling any running gear.
Give it another stab. It's the strongest ratchet strap we've got. It's pulling that down as hard as possible. All the straps are locating it to the leaf. I'll get our remaining straps on and I reckon that'll be pretty good.
It's going to have to be, because the track to the Gila crossing is very, very rocky.
How's it feeling, Dozza?
So far.
Pretty solid under there. Looks like it might hold. I don't know, another 6 hours with this and we'll see.
After a few hours of hard slog through rocky terrain and treacherous marshes, at last we make it to the descent down to the Gila crossing.
Well boys, this is the last river crossing before we get to the little township of Oombi. Now from memory, very rocky, and last time was very deep and fast flowing as well. If you get this one wrong, you're in big strife.
Let's just hope my little repair on the camera car holds up.
The Gila is one of the deeper crossings on the track, and with its deep pools, it's also one of the more dangerous when it comes to crocs.
Well, you confident?
Not at all. I won't lie to you.
No.
I've forgotten how to do this one. I think there's a bit more water than last time because there's not many rocks exposed, which doesn't give me a good guide of where to go. It's just a big lake.
Agreed. I'm confident till about the edge over there.
Yep.
Where you go from that edge, I really don't know.
We don't have Ronnie here this time. He would normally guide us and...
He knows within an inch
exactly
where to go.
Right. Righto, we'll give this a crack. Yeah, we'll just give it a go. Rocks. Big rocks. I'll get that snack strap ready just in case. It's going to be deep.
So what's your plan when you get over that way?
If I get real stuck, snatch your seat. This is nerve-wracking.
Plan here is for Shaun to come and hug this edge, as you can see the edge going right up along here.
So deep. I've forgotten everything we talked about. Where are we going?
No, keep going miles down. So head for those reeds.
Sure? Sketchy.
Get a right hand down. Where's he going to go from here?
Oh, I'm in the middle now. Oh, there's a crocodile in the water.
Where?
Massive big splash in the water. Something just took off. I think it was a little croc.
After a few tense moments, Shaun is across. Now it's my turn.
Made it.
Well, I think I know where I'm going to go here.
He's going to understand how deep it is in about 5 seconds.
Into here. Oi! Reasonably deep just there. Bit of floating going on. Can't really see where I'm going here. So I'm following this ledge to the best of my abilities. I'm going to do something a bit tricky here and come around to the right. Oh, screw. Oh dear. Is that the only way? Okay, the left is the only way. Oh, Struth, Bruce. If you don't like rocks, don't do the Oombi track.
No shortage of the buggers.
That was cool. That was very cool.
Rightio, my turn. I'll just idle through like the other boys did. They did really well. Good job, boys. Ooh, this is a big spot.
With the line sussed, Liam makes it look pretty easy, but Az has a bit of a moment after heading a little too far to the right.
We're into it now. Deep. Oh, that is deep right there. Beautiful spotting, Mr. Graham.
For the camera boys though, this is going to be a real test of that fix. If they get stuck, their winch is already committed to holding the diff in place. Thankfully though, they pick the right line and they make it through without too many dramas. The scrub on this side of the river is dense and rocky, and with nowhere to pull up for the night, we decide to keep pushing on towards our original goal of Oombulgurri. But things soon come to a crashing halt, as our camera car bush fix totally gives out, and badly.
All the straps are gone.
They're broken?
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of a serious situation at the moment. Our bush mechanic fix has let go. As you can see, this tyre is hard up against that guard. All the straps are broken. The locator bolt is also broken, hence why the diff is on a really strange angle right now. I actually don't know how we're going to get out of this one. We can sure make a little fix to get us a couple of Ks up the road, but we've got about 400 of those to do.
You're not doing it with a block of wood in there, mate. We need to fix this thing good and proper. That's all I know. But
well, I guess the only way you folks are going to find out if we get out of this or not is
we're getting out
next time.
We're definitely getting out. How we get out? That is the question, folks. Actually, comments down below. What would you guys do? What would you do if this was you guys? I don't know how we're going to get out of this one, but I guess tune in next time and find out. Beer? My car's up here. We're completely out of the way. Actually, I've got a flat spot up here, mate.
This is where we live now.
Yeah. P.O. Box Oombi.
Next time on 4-wheel drive 24/7, our Kimberley adventure turns up the heat as we come up with one of the wildest rescue plans we've ever attempted.
Tyre wire is there to sort of act as a makeshift U-bolt so everything fall out and go pear-shaped.
Get bogged and lost in the remotest stretches of the Kimberley.
What are we doing down there? There's a chainsaw out and he's in the middle of the river.
Battle breakages and busted tyres.
It's like over the top of hot.
And check out some of the wildest country you'll see anywhere in Australia.
It was a little bit nerve-wracking.
Until one slip up
Oh no.
almost spells disaster for the trip.
Engine had just turned off.